We wanted to take a minute to thank our friends at thebikerlawyers.com. If you're ever in an accident in Iowa or Minnesota, make sure to call and ride the recovery road. This video is also sponsored by Squid Monster. More on that later, guys. Hey, guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm Meg, and this is my motorcycle journey. Cameraman comes along with me. It would mean so much to Michael and I if you haven't subscribed already, if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This video is our footage leaving Montana. We actually didn't get any footage in Idaho because it poured the entire 2 hours we were in Idaho into Washington and then Oregon. Part 2 of our journey. I hope you enjoy. Y'all, we stayed in the coolest place in Washington State. So y'all know how I like to find like original Airbnb. So we stayed in the Grain Barn Inn.
We did.
It is, before we go inside, a little shot from the front so you can see. So it's on this really pretty like
farm
that has like flowers and fruits and vegetables and stuff. But it's this little grain bin structure.
Grain house.
A barn, I guess they call it. And come in. I feel like there's I'm missing lights in here somewhere. Anyways, like so
What does that like?
Anyway, you got this little table over here. You got this like tiny little like sink
Kitchen area.
vanity kitchen area. Little couch, little refrigerator, microwave area.
Very well done.
Yeah, they did awesome with it. There's like little games and stuff, books. Over here you got this
Bathroom was phenomenal.
Yeah, actually the shower was so great. So you got like a little, toilet shower, and then you got this little barn door that pulls shut. Cool. And then I have this weird thing where I love spiral staircases. I've always loved them.
Me too.
Do you remember, Michael, in high school when we stayed at Ocean my mom got that condo and it had a spiral staircase? I was like, I loved it so much. Anyway, we got this little upstairs area, super nice bed, and look at me putting a chest with extra stuff. Just really cool and well done. We have artwork hanging from the ceiling.
You do?
And then we'll show you guys outside because it's super cool outside. But look, they got little windows.
Nice.
All the things. Careful coming down the stairs. These windows are really cool. They're a little steep. And then out here they have areas that you can enjoy.
They got a bar.
It's like a little outdoor little barn. The grain barn, flowers and inn. Right here. This is cute. A little replica. And then out here we got this other little area that you can sit and hang out underneath. And then the flower garden that they said we could go to. We got this cute little fire pit back here. If you wanted to start a fire and hang. Anyway, super cool Airbnb.
Yeah?
Oh, what? Do you think we should show them the secret place?
Yeah, the secret spot we found last night.
They told us
Yeah.
in the listing that we could explore the grounds. By the way, did you look at all these flowers? I feel like I'm in the maze at the end of Harry Potter.
Just go north.
Yeah, everybody should know by now that I'm a Harry Potter fan. I know it doesn't jive with my biker girl thing, but you know what? I'm all the paradoxes, okay? So we got this little hammock shed thing, and then you could see the stars last night.
And this old chicken coop.
Which is also like a little hangout little kind of area.
Yeah.
that I felt was slightly haunted last night, but Michael liked it. Freaking me out. Anyways, guys, super
cool Airbnb.
super cool Airbnb. If you're in like central Washington State, you come here, check it out. Fun fact, Michael and I have never been to Washington State. This is our first visit.
It is.
It's hot.
Yeah, forget this leather shit.
Yeah, we're rolling these leathers up. Alright guys, until next time. The host of that super cool Airbnb were Alan and Liesel. Super fun, super great people, lots of great recommendations. This is us actually leaving the Green Barn in Washington State. We were in the east and central part of Washington State. This was like central Washington State. One of the few things that we did not get to see that I really, really did want to see was western Washington State on the coast and up north. There is a number of national parks that I've heard are beautiful and amazing that we just did not have the time to stop and see. I initially had even more stops planned, but it just was too much. It got to be too long, and it's just very difficult to leave our businesses and children and lives for longer than 3 weeks. So that was what we tried to do, just cut this down to a 3-week trip. We absolutely loved everything out west. As I mentioned, we didn't tape in Idaho because we were only in Idaho for about 2.5 hours and it rained the entire time. Started raining the edge of Montana and then through Idaho, and it stopped as we got into Washington State. So on this particular day, we were going from Washington State south into Oregon. We were planning to stop and see Crater Lake, which we ended up doing, and you guys are going to get a front row seat to that shortly. People raved about Crater Lake, and I will say it was absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, and you guys won't want to miss that. I will say, that's the handiest thing about this other bag that Saddleman sent me.
What's that?
Is that it has this top feature where we can roll stuff up.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Like that one feature really makes that bag, I feel. Shape it. In case we need food. We're stranded somewhere. I don't want you to have to deal with me without food. It'll be like dealing with you and me.
It's the hottest day of my life.
It's not like 80 degrees.
It's too hot.
We're about to go in this valley of fire where it's 110.
Who's going to my place?
No one, you're coming with me. So, put all that zip in here. I remembered I had pants. But, you know what, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
You know why I'm so happy?
What?
It's not calling for rain today. No rain. Oh my God, I'm here. This is like the first day in
That
like
we
a
know it's not
million
gonna rain.
days where there's like no clouds and it hasn't called for rain. So this part of Washington State that we rode through was fairly flat, seemed to be a lot of farmland. One of the things that Michael and I enjoyed the most coming across country was just watching the varied landscapes and terrains and cultures change from state to state, we really were able to see a totally different side of the country from what we're used to. There was, for instance, a lot of Indian reservations out west. We don't have anything like that in the east, or very few things like that in the east. There was simply a different pace of life, I think. We found people to be less concerned about their cell phone and working and other things in a lot of these states that have probably a smaller population, like Montana. But we absolutely loved it. We met the most amazing people out west. We saw the most amazing things. Getting into the lower portion of Washington State was pretty cool. And we were riding basically alongside a river, which you'll see in a minute, into Oregon. We made a cool little stop. I don't have any footage in the right direction from that stop. I put a little bit of it on Instagram, but we made a cool little stop where there was basically a train station on the line between Washington and Oregon. It was absolutely beautiful. You can see the water there on the right-hand side. So I wasn't expecting that type of, I guess, land topography in southern Washington into Oregon. At this point, we knew we were getting close to the point where we would have to have a service stop. The red light on my bike had come on, which I thought had been for the security system in the past, but I wasn't sure. Michael desperately needed a rear tire when we left. I had all new tires. He had a new front tire. His back tire still had some tread on it, so we didn't want to put a brand new tire on. But by the time we got to Oregon, we were about 4,000 miles into our 8,000 plus mile journey, and we decided that it was time for a service stop. Initially, we were going to stop for service in the Oakland area and go to the Oakland Harley-Davidson because, spoiler alert, you will see that I visit Megan and Stephanie, who have been guests on this channel. They actually live in the San Francisco, Oakland, Alameda area, and we had planned to stop there. But given the way things worked out with the weekend days and when we were going to end up there, it made more sense to stop in Oregon for our service stop. And I'm glad we did because we were very well taken care of. So you'll see a little footage here of us in Bend, Oregon at the Harley-Davidson getting our service completed before we made our way back across the country. Guys, we made our service stop here at Wild Horse Harley-Davidson in Bend, Oregon. They were great. They got us right in, took care of our bikes so that we can make it home safely. So big thank you and shout out to Wild Horse Harley-Davidson.
It's my only bike.
Everybody loves Road Kings and I hate them.
I think Road King is a very Swiss Army bike because it's a blank canvas and you can do a lot of things with. Do they ever really fit everything? I don't think so.
Yeah, not right.
I don't know. People love them.
And I hate this style windshields.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
It's like Lauren's heritage, sort of.
They do weird shit to my beard.
Yeah, I just cut my beard off.
Some of the windscreens just fuck with my beard.
I mean, I could make this.
Is there a lot of interest in this bike already? You've had it for a while?
These are all sold out. I just took this bike in yesterday.
Okay.
So it was actually, we sold it originally and he traded it in.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's a...
I feel like Jared wouldn't like this seat either because he's not tall. Maybe he got it custom down.
Most likely did.
And he always
It's a good looking bike.
Look, I can't even reach the kickstand to pull it up.
You don't need to.
I'm not going to. I'm just saying. It's always my problem when touring bike because I
It's so big in the back.
can't reach it.
Well, it's just because it's got the additional crash bars
Yeah.
around it.
So all these bikes are, because they're tagged.
Yeah, these are all used.
I really like this sport bike.
Even though this is a 23, it's still used.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. I thought it was nice. Oh, these bars are not okay though. Like, why do people do that? And this isn't comfortable for anyone unless they're 6'8".
People love apes. People love apes.
No, we have apes, but when they're so upright, I'm like, that's not comfortable. I know you think you look cool, but it's not comfortable.
Oh, that breakout, hon.
Yep.
Well,
That's a 14.
I don't like your... I know when you had them, I liked them, but now I don't like beach bars.
Hey Megan,
Yes.
since we're waiting for Michael, you want me to help one of the guys wash your bike?
Sure.
Okay. We'll try on yours too.
It's gonna be a rough one on mine.
No, we tried to. It was at his off this morning. And
It didn't work. It didn't do
damn
much.
thing. Not a single thing. Oh, it's getting hot
That's because
now.
when we were up in Glacier doing the road to the sun, there was the last 11 miles on the west side was they're doing road work, so it literally was all
Total mud. Just
all
You
mud.
better get that stuff off there because
And
it's
it's
Yeah, I know.
just
stuff can
mud.
get nasty. It turns into like cement.
Trust me, we have a detail business.
Oh, yeah, you said car wash.
Yeah, we know about that. The good thing about my bike is
Shiny blue. It's kind of pretty. This is shimmery.
That's pretty cool.
shimmery.
Shimmery, you know. The paint is the most important thing to me. You know that.
That's the first thing she did was paint her bike.
Yeah, it's gotta be good.
She already told you it's got to be red, right? Yeah.
What? That's a weird color back there. It's like a matte brown.
Matt Brown?
It's like poop. The poop bike.
Ew. You're going to piss a lot of people off, man. That's a used bike.
Let's use that. It's a slim.
I'm not.
Why do
here-
people do that? Wrap that stuff on the pipe, like to
I'm not
keep the
here
heat
to
off?
people like that.
Yeah, and it kind of will help you from burning your legs if you ride with shorts and shit like
That ship sailed. Me pleasing people. That ship sailed a
Long time ago, yeah, it did.
that. A slim was probably a good size for you. You could probably do
Everybody said that, but I didn't like the forward controls and the balance on it. I test rode the Slim. So when I went to buy my bike, I knew I wanted a soft tail. I didn't want a touring bike. And I did not want a breakout because I had sat on his bike and I knew it was too stretched out for me. So I test rode the regular lowrider, the lowrider rest, the street bob, the fat bob, and the Slim because they had Slims. It was in 2020.
Right.
And my favorite two were the street bob and the lowrider rest. But as soon as I rode the lowrider rest, so I tested all of them in the place where I went to test ride them has their like training facility for their like licensure classes there. So they have like a pretty ginormous lot. So I rode all those bikes around the lot and then I took them on like one circle around. He wasn't with me because the salesperson I knew was going to give me a better deal if he wasn't with me, which they did. So I got all the financing done. They said
Whatever it
that,
takes.
like, I knew that. I got all the financing lined up already. And then the next day I brought him and I took those two bikes on longer test rides, the Street Bob and the Lowrider S. And he said, I knew as soon as you got on the Lowrider S that was it. Just like your face and like how
Yeah,
you
I could
like
see- I
operated.
know.
I could tell.
Lowrider S's they're super popular.
Yeah, I mean they're
See-
for the younger generation, right?
The other thing I don't
Right.
like about the Slim and I've ridden it one other time, is this thing comes out so far that it's
The
really
air.
hard for me to reach around and get the rear brake. So that's also a problem with the breakout is the filter or whatever that thing is, the air filter is so big that I can't
So she said.
reach around and get the rear brake very good.
Yeah, some of the ones that are cheap ones with that come out the side, they're kind of hard to figure
Yeah.
stuff in there too.
I
It's got
mean-
the high performance ones.
Like I watch him and I'm like, well, he has no issues, but it's just that his leg is
Longer.
big enough to reach it. Like,
That's why there's different bikes and different seating.
That's right.
and different pegs. That's why everybody spends so much money customizing these
Yeah.
adult Legos.
that's why I don't want to get rid of mine because I put so much time and money into it.
You don't need to get a new bike all the time. If you love your bike, keep it.
Yeah.
He's been telling me it's done. My bike's done. People are going to now send you hate mail because I said that.
I just think people would like to see you on a new bike, that's all.
If you're in the business, you could just get a new bike every year and just say,
Yeah.
this is going to be what we do. This is the content.
Yeah, I wish.
Money. You're right.
I actually like the colors of this Cameraman better than the flashy ones.
I agree.
That's what I feel like it should look like this with the hard bags and it's rugged. That's what it should look like.
It's huge like that, though.
Yeah.
It's huge.
With those bags,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. It's like as wide as a quad almost.
Look at that.
What was that guy's BMW that you rode had these same bags?
Yeah,
didn't it?
they're 1250.
This is ladies, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you taping me?
There was.
Does it smell good?
Oh, repulsive. Smells good.
Fine, right? So, this is footage from Crater Lake, which has a cult following in the national park community. We actually ended up leaving Michael's bike at the dealer because they still had some work to do. So we are both on my bike, taping using our GoPro. There was absolutely amazing, breathtaking views. I will say that Michael and I started joking that perhaps we've become national park snobs at this point in our trip. And the reason is that we liked Crater Lake, but we did not enjoy it in the same way that we enjoyed Glacier National Park, or you'll see footage in a couple of videos of Zion National Park. We just felt like you're not really able to interact with all of nature at Crater Lake. It's sort of something that you just ride around the outside. As you can see here, unlike Glacier where the road is on the inside of the mountains and you sort of can see into the streams and the lakes and the valleys and see the mountain top. Crater Lake is basically a circle around the outside of the lake, and then you make your way to various viewpoints along the way, which are beautiful. And even this side, the outside of Crater Lake, or the mountain surrounding Crater Lake, is still beautiful. But for us, we thought that it was a little bit more fun to be able to explore a little bit more and hike a little bit more. Even though we're never dressed for hiking, poor Michael always gets brought along on my hiking adventures. But we still did love it. It still was a very cool stop in Oregon. As I mentioned about Washington State, the same was true in Oregon. There was a number of things on the coast or closer to the coast that I really would have liked to see, but distance-wise and route-wise, we ended up heading out from Oregon into Northern California and then trying to cut over, because on my bucket list was riding the Pacific Coast Highway, which, don't worry, we have lots of footage of that and the Redwoods. We have so many things coming up. As I mentioned, this was far and away, without question, the most epic trip Michael and I have ever taken. There was adventure. We encountered wildlife. In our last video, you guys saw that we were in thunder hail at about 10 or 11,000 feet on Beartooth Pass. So we have so many more adventures to share with you guys. So I hope that you'll tune in for the entire series. Historically, our travel motovlogs do not do as well, which makes me sad because they are Michael and I's favorite. Hi guys. So today is our bike service day, and we're fortunate enough to get in at Wild Horse Harley in Bend. So they did an oil change on my bike and Michael needed a rear tire badly. So we were looking for something nearby to come look at, and Crater Lake is the only national park in Oregon. And people raved about it, so here we are, and we're bringing you guys along with us. Cold, guys, for August. We've had a much colder cross-country trip than we anticipated.
I don't see anybody down there.
But it feels like you could walk down there. It's like there could be pathways. I'm just saying.
It might be possible.
Like when we were at Glacier, like I was like, you can't walk down there, you will die. Right? Oh, you know where else is a national park that we went to? Last year. I want us to get the map and start scratching them off. Devil's Tower.
Yep.
Was Badlands, Yellowstone, Glacier, here, Skyline. Guys, it was still one of the most beautiful places that we've ever seen. I hope that you guys will tune in. We're going to take a break in this series because we're going to put out a video of our time at Ocean City, Maryland Bike Week, where we got to meet so many of you and we had such an awesome time. So next week we'll be putting that out, and then we will be returning to our cross-country series. We have one spot available on our tour. If anyone is interested, please let us know. We do have 3 other folks going. The tour leaves out of Maryland on September 28th, and we return the 1st of October. We go into West Virginia, and we use a lot of the skills that Michael and I have gained over the past couple of years in doing things like touring the entire East Coast and this epic 8,000 plus mile journey across the United States in 25 days. So we would love to meet you guys. We would love to hang with you guys. And if you are interested in coming on our tour, please email us at megsmotorcyclejourney@gmail.com. Again, we are so thankful for everyone who helped make this trip a reality for us. If you subscribe to our Patreon channel, thank you. If you subscribe to this, thank you. We appreciate you guys. You're the greatest. Tune in next time. Thank you again, and ride safe, guys.
I don't get it. Where's that water coming from?